Hello, I'm shooting a video to share some exercises I learned for my golfer's elbow, but they should work for tennis elbow as well because it's hard to find, and this is for a friend of mine. So there's like 10 different exercises I do plus one stretch. So most exercises are 3 sets of 10 reps. This is the first one. This is the TheraBand Flex Bar. And so just pulling down like this with your elbows and holding. 1, 2, 3. So I do 3 sets of 10 of that. With the other exercise I do, I have issues with the right inside forearm. So I'll put my wrist inside, twist with the other, and then I let back slowly. So there it goes, up, twist, and I let back slowly. This puts a release right here on the soft tissue. I would imagine it's opposite for tennis elbow. I would twist and then release forward for tennis elbow. Twist, release forward. So I'm getting the muscle here. So this is golfer's elbow, and I release backwards. I do 3 sets of 10 with that. I do them every morning. The next one, you could use the TheraBand. It's just a squeeze and a hold. I have a wrist, but again, with the golfer's elbow, my wrist will be down, and I'll squeeze and hold, working that forearm in the middle here. If it was tennis, I would imagine it's the outside. I would have my hand facing down and squeeze, working this part for tennis elbow, inside for golfer's elbow. 3 sets of 10. With this exercise, I'll use both hands. A lot of people talk about, you could use anything, a tennis racket. I want my wrist in a neutral standpoint right here, not cupped, not in. And this is called the hammer. And I let it go out nice and controlled and bring it back nice and controlled. A tennis racket, a hammer, something that's more weighted. I use this bar, it's fairly heavy. And again, I'll do both arms, 3 sets of 10, nice and controlled. So this is probably good for both golfer's elbow and tennis elbow. Assisted wrist curls for golfer's elbow or tennis elbow. With golfer's elbow, I'll assist it up, and then I'll let it down slowly. Assist it up, let it down slowly, so I'm working that inside. I would imagine with tennis elbow, it would be exactly the same. I'd bring it up, and then I would assist it down with tennis elbow. Bring it up, and assist it down with tennis elbow. That way you're working the other part of the forearm. And you could possibly do that this way, bring it up, let it down. That's a little harder that way. Weight on a string. For me, I'm with golfer's elbow, I'm letting it come back easy, because this is the release coming down. With tennis elbow, and then I can bring it up as fast as I want. I don't have a tennis elbow issue. If it were tennis elbow issue, let it down, I would do the opposite. Up, easy, this would be and then I would just let it down faster. So this is for tennis elbow, I'd be going away from myself, working that upper forearm. Versus golfer's elbow, I'm letting it down easy, because that's working the lower part of the forearm or the inside of the elbow. So 3 sets of 10, or actually just 3 sets to the floor and then back up again. The assisted wrist curl, I do both hands, 3 sets of 10. Kettlebell, this is a lateral stability. This is probably for either of them. You're supposed to walk around. I typically march in place. My wrist isn't cupped here. And the idea is that it gets a little unstable as you walk around. And typically about 30 seconds, I'll march in place. And again, I'll do that on both sides for stability. But you don't want your wrist cupped one way or another, so you're actually letting the weight swing back and forth. I don't have this hooked to anything, but if I have it hooked around the door, I'm told that rotator cuff can lead to these injuries. And so if I have this hooked to a door, one of the exercises I'll do is I pull back to my arms are at 90 degrees and then lift up 90 degrees and then back and out. This is a rotator cuff exercise. And again, I do 3 sets of 10 for that. And then the other one is I'll have it wrapped just one arm and I'm at 90 degree bend here and I go in 45 degrees and back in 45 degrees. And I'll do set of 10, then I switch it to the other arm, in, out, in, 45, out, 45, and then we'll switch and do the other way. So in, out, 45, in, out, 45, 3 sets of 10. And let's see, that puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the other one I do with a dumbbell is just a hold here, about 10-second hold. This one I do sets of 5, a 10-second hold. So palm facing up, and then also palm facing down, just a hold. That's all it is. To the other side. And then last is a stretch I found on the internet, I'm told is a yoga stretch, and this gave me the most relief. I don't know how this would work for tennis elbow, but it works great for golfer's elbow. I was able to go back and play tennis almost immediately, and it hurt really, really bad the first time I did it, but I get very little relief anymore. I put my both arms here together, and I'm going to move the dog, and I lay on my arms right here, so they're under, my elbows are under my hips, and then you lift one leg and then the other leg, so your hip is turning to your elbows. And really at this point, I just go to more of like a Superman stretch, and I'll just hold it for 10 to 20 seconds. And I don't feel much relief anymore, anything different about that, except I'm much more flexible than I used to be. I hope these exercises help you out.